The world is changing all the time. We grow older. Some people appear to grow inexplicably younger. Food prices are shooting up, and new dinosaurs are discovered almost every week. But one thing is for sure. Every single person has seen a carving of a flower on their grandma's furniture, and today we're going to learn how to carve that flower. So I've got this area reserved for this flower that we're going to do, but I rubbed out most of the drawing I did because it was kind of rough. I was just seeing if it would fit in the space, so I'm going to redraw it more accurately and then we're going to start carving it. I can't underestimate the power of a good stencil when wood carving or any kind of like design work. Like, I know you can use a compass and kind of score a circle, but when you've got all these pre-made circles with the millimeter of the diameters on there, it's super duper useful. Now that I've got that circle in the center, I just basically measured halfway across here, across each part, and then put lines on there. And then with the diagonal line, that means we've got our petals kind of sorted out. We've just got to make all the curves. If you don't have exactly the right profile of a curved chisel or a gouge, you can always just use a normal straight chisel and use it to make curves instead. Much like we did on the hair video, if you just use the corner of the chisel, you can then make a nice little curve. Probably a lot easier on more shallow curves than it is on more kind of acute curves. So I've cleared up around the outside and now I just want to do this little circle in the middle. The gouge I've got here kind of fits pretty well, so we're just gonna keep going around this edge. Whoops. And I'm trying to kind of carve slightly, this is over exaggerated, but slightly outwards rather than like this, because then I can sort of clean up the edges when I've got it all done. And this is the part where I tell you, you don't need a million different chisels to carve wood. And you definitely don't. I get by with about 20 different tools. But those people who have hundreds of chisels will have a profile for basically any situation, and will be able to repeat cuts much more cleanly and easily than I can. But I figured, carving's it's just not difficult enough, so I decided to play on ultra hardcore mode. Or that's just what I tell myself to feel better. So I've started carving this middle bit of the flower. I sort of want it to be half spherical, so basically what I'm doing is I'm going by saying that this is the bit of the wood that sticks out the most, and everything else curves back from it. So this here is going to be the deepest part, and then it's going to slowly curve up to the top. We're going to use a sort of shallow gouge here to just shape these petals and try and take them so they go almost underneath this central part to kind of make it look like the petals are coming from underneath. So now that I've made these petals look like they're kind of coming from behind the center of the flower, I'm just gonna make the gaps between them more apparent by doing a kind of like a V cut. You could probably use a V-chisel for this, but because we're coming at so many different angles, I don't really want to risk it because it could probably break out a lot of pieces. When you think of flowers, your mind goes to beautiful fragrances, frolicking through meadows with your sweetheart, and bees delicately collecting pollen, but instead, you're here with me, a 39-year-old man sweating in his old shed. But hey, when was the last time that you saw a bee carve wood?
Carpenter bees.
Shut up! So I'm just going to finish off this last leaf, make it look like it's going underneath the petals. And then we're going to add a few embellishments to the flower to make it look just a little bit more interesting. I have to be honest, I didn't think of these patterns myself. I actually looked up wood carving flower on Google and found one that I like the look of. So all these little embellishments are from a few different pictures I found. Did you know that if you become a patron to my channel, then you get access to videos before anyone else, and you allow me to make more varied and interesting content for just £2 a month? That's like the price of a Big Mac about 20 years ago. And thank you very much to my current patrons, as always. You guys are the champs of the channel. This is only day 2 of 30 different carving days that we're going to do. So, you know the drill. If you want to see how the rest turn out, then subscribe. Bye.